So this is Baruch here. I'm at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and we are learners here at the Kollel. For those of you who listen to the Shirim, you're a learner. That's what we're talking about over here in this storm. We're on page. This is actually page Shin Yud Ches in the Makif Kedoshim Parshas Kedoshim, and here we're going to take a look at a little introduction. And today we may only have time to read as much of the Zohar as possible, but we want to see this little introduction. He says, "Today lahabin maimer abon," in order to be able to understand this piece of Torah that's coming up. Nakten b'kitzer divich harachu. Harachu is Rabbi Chaim Vital. This is what the Harachu said. Usually it's called the Marachu. It's okay. She'einin kavanas Rabbi Abba. He said, we're going to hear from Rabbi Abba. He said what he's trying to say, levarach apasa Kedoshim tehi. He wants to understand this concept of Kedoshim. I listened to this shir yesterday, and he told us about not being like a horse, becoming a mule. So let's see what he's trying to say over here. It says, the Inyan of tefillin shall rosh shall yad, heim sod Zohar v'nekeva. Now this is not a theme that you hear over in so many different ways in the Zohar. Ki tefillin shall rosh ki b'Tiferes, because the concept is that tefillin shall rosh at Tiferes, the tefillin shall yad ki malchus is in malchus. So the two are opposites. Kniska the Kumon, as we're going to get, he says when you get to Parshat Eschanan, he's going to come into it again. So now he said, "V'al yedei zeh," through this, Nikra ha'adam ha'maniach tefillin b'kavona u'b'li hesed. So therefore, when a person puts on tefillin and he has kavona, without his mind being distracted into someplace else, in other words, he's going to put the two of these together and they're going to be Zohar v'Noach. Echad the Hainu, he makes them into one. Hainu Shalom, it becomes complete. He who koilul Zohar v'nekeva, they should be yached kutsha barichu b'shkinte v'chanas tefillin. So what he's doing, he's incorporating the opposites of male and female, and this is the most important way. He constantly says Zohar v'nekeva. It's just saying that's not just saying black and white. Different kinds of metaphors that we could really develop some beautiful Torah, which is also true. But because the creative process is male and female, particularly the sexual attitude of it, so therefore he brings that to us all the time, because this is part of creation, the creation and the of bodies and souls. So this concept of putting the male, which is in this case is Tiferes, and the female, which is Malchus, together, which is actually the same way the Zer Anpin and Malchus. He said, the Choros ki kamosha gedushas tefillin. He the hiyosa adam echad b'sod Zohar v'nekeva. What's the purpose of putting on tefillin? Is that a man should realize that he could become complete, male and female. That's the idea. Kumo Cain, so the same way, kuhu soda pasu gedoshim tihiu, that you should be holy. Shenemar al esa ziva. The Kedoshim, what we said yesterday in that pasuk, in that Torah, he says we're really referring to how we have to manifest ourselves or maintain ourselves. We're in the time of living together. He said ki hu mamish sod kedushas tefillin, because this is really the secret, the same secret as the kedushas in tefillin, barosh ubizroa, of the arm and the leg. Again, you have Tiferes, which is your anpid, and Malchus. Ki eina shchina shara el al misha nosui isha, because the Torah itself does not dwell on anyone except those who are married. Ki oz naasa adam shalom, because when that happens, a man comes into completeness. V'ikar achdusam, and the main part of their oneness, when they sanctify themselves at the time of living together with a complete heart. In other words, the thought that they're going to create something kadosh is embedded in this yichud. B'li shum sina u'pirid levavos, without any kind of distraction, hate, or something that would that would cause their hearts to go the wrong direction. Vaz notzim misham guf haben ba'achdus shav. So this, that you could achieve that, is what they're able to make a child out of this complete and total oneness. And will arouse in this person a completely new neshama tahara, not something which is flawed, which is, we all have the flaw of Adam Rishon. This is a way to perfect that flaw. Because that which is made in Kedusha, in other words, with the kavanah, the intention of being kadosh, lokech as bazugo, that person will find his mate, who echad shalem, and there will be one complete. Adkan uvazeh navin bezes Hashem as my brother. I'm not going to be able to understand what we're going to hear. And we'll read like we do, is we're going to go and we're going to read these Zohar first. And so let me see. I'm always concerned about the light because I really don't understand the light. And so I'm moving a little bit further away from the light so that will help me a little bit. So it says like this, Kedoshim Tihi Yukidei, the first pasuk there, in order to rephrase this pasuk. That's how it's supposed to be starting at the top. Kedoshim Yuk, Rebbe Abba pasuk, Rebbe also Abba began. Umi ka'amacha Yisrael, who is like your people, like the Jewish people, Goy echad ba'aretz, a nation of one nation in the land. Now understand that we had the concept of echad. This is the concept that we mentioned earlier, the Zohar Banot. And then he said ba'aretz, so the oneness in the land. Aretz refers to Malchus, Tochazik. Bakal Amen the Alma Lo Israel Kuja Uberichu. No other people in the world ever had Kodesh Baruch Hu appear to them. Bar Yisrael B'Uladai, with the exception of the Jewish people only. V'Avadlom Ame Yechidoch B'Alma, and he made us a singular people in the world. Bakar Alon Goy Echad Kishmei, and he called them a one nation, a nation of oneness, just like his name. And he has crowned us with many different kinds of crowns. So he says, and all different kinds of pekudim in order to become crowned with that. So therefore we have this concept of the tefillin, this tefillin on the head and the tefillin on the arm. This attribute to become a crown for that with the person, just like the unity that you find up above when you put the tefillin on. It also represents opposites, Zohar Banot. The concept of this is to make everything into oneness. So it's a bahaki shata. That moment is ata behu barnash is kaddish. So now you're putting on your tefillin. And the part that when you do that, nobody else, no other nation in the world does this. It's the Avid Shalim, the Ikre Echad. That person is now making a oneness. And as a result of that, he's called one. So the Echad Lo Ikre Alakad Ihu Shalim. You can't use the word one unless the person is really in a state of perfection. Uman the Pagin Lo Ikre Echad. So someone who messes up the relationship between Zohar and Milk can never be one. On this now Kodesh Baruch Hu is called one, complete in all ways. With the perfection of the fathers. The Knesset Yisrael, with the perfection of Malchus, which is below the three lines of Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferes. He said, "Begin Kach Yisrael l'Sader Ikrum Echad," and for this reason, the Jews down below are called one. The Kad Barnash Anach Tefillin, because when people put on tefillin, the Ischape B'Kisui the mitzvah, they are covering themselves, clothing themselves with the covering of a mitzvah. Then is Ater Be'itrin Kedishim Kedam to that moment, the person, the crowns. In other words, the flows of all the chesadim and all the goodness that is in the world flows. The Ikri Echad, and it's called one. But beginning Kach, and this reason, Leisei Echad V'Yishtav V'Yishtav Be'echad. So he says like this, let's understand that Kudsha Barichu is one. So let's take now this combination that has been able to produce male and female, and they're going to be one. V'yishtadol be'echad kudsha barichu de'ihu echad. So it is that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is one. That's what I said. He said to work with this oneness that is coming from the family. Because a king only deals with that element which is fit for him. Beginning for this reason, it's written, and he's in oneness, and who's going to change that? So the only dwelling that a Kodesh Baruch Hu, which is Beninius, has is in oneness. Be'echad. Echad neboile. So he said, let me read the pasuk again. Lo shari kutsher berichu, that's he doesn't dwell. V'lo ishtakach el be'echad. He's only found in oneness. Be'echad. So he said it should read echad neboile. He should only found oneness, not in oneness. So he said el b'manda is takan the kutsher berichu the be'echad. But it's really talking about a person who is yearning to join himself to the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Then who sharya be'echad, and then he's living in oneness because he is the big Dovei to Hashem. Below ba'aser achra. You won't find oneness anywhere else. Let's see what else we got. So let's go back to this idea. When is it that a man is called one? So when you find a man together with the female. And then that Kedusha of their wedding puts the two of them together. It becomes a Kedusha, Ilah. And the Kavanah here is always to sanctify the relationship and to make it in the direction of a unity and try to make a unity in Kudsha. So he said, so come and see. When a man is found in a relationship with a woman, with his wife, and when they come together, and their thought is to reproduce a child in Kedusha, Keden hu shalim, at that moment the person has reached perfection or oneness. The ikre echad below pegima, and he's called one without any pagam, with no flaw. In other words, the concept of the flow of the energy of oneness from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu comes right straight through. Beginning kacha for this reason, boy and bar nas the mechte le'it t'secha b'ha'gishat. So therefore, it's important that this is coming along us, that you should really bring some joy into your wife, amuse your wife at this time. He said b'ha'gishat. So that is the zamna. In order to get her ready, the lo berusa, that she should have love for him, because he is lifting some of the burden she has of the importance of her life. And so therefore the two of them come together as oneness in this event which we're having here, which is living together. When the two of them are found in a position of oneness, then what's happening is the spiritual element which comes first is also together with the body. So the idea of the nasha is that their will should be one will. So we understand the anatomy. The bar nash, the lo nesiv, who command the ispalik, because a man who's not married and single is like a person who's divided. God is hard of a and when two of them come together, that is male and female able to come together, then is a vida of a gufa, they actually become one body. So ishtakach the inkul chad nashe v'chad gufa, and now they have the soul, which is the kavanah of the person, the people, when they're doing it, v'chad gufa, and their body at the moment of tashmish is one. V'ikre bar nash echad, and it's called a man, just a man. The man is one by himself. So he said, Keden kudshak of a rinchu shari bechad. Then you see the dwelling of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, that oneness that is eternal, dwelling with this. Bahaku Echad. And then the whole ruach of the Kedosh Baruch Hu is elevated. V'ilun ikmach begin to Kudsha Baruch Hu, and they're called then Benin, children of Kudsha Baruch Hu, because he has joined with them into this oneness. Begin to Kudsha Baruch Hu, come to Itmar, because it's written like this. The beginning Kedoshim Tehiyu, and that's the reason why it says you should be holy. Kedosh Ani Hashem, because I join in to become part of the oneness. Zchayin in Yisrael, lo oking miladon ba'asar achro, that no try to find. Let me read it again. Zchayin, meritorious are the Jewish people. The lo oking miladon ba'asar achro, al the bay mamish, that they never try to establish their relationship in a false ideology, only with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Alavei Mamish, that he want to bring that spirit into them. They said Ki Kodesh Ani Hashem, because it says that he is Kodesh, that I am Yudke Vavke. Behin is Davka Be Lo Ba'achra, in order to be able to cling to him, because he is the essence of all reality. Although Kedoshim Tehiyu, and on this we say that you're going to be holy. Ki Kedosh Ani Hashem Elokecha. That's the reason why we say that. Now, that's going to be the shir today. And tomorrow, with God's help, we'll see how well we can do with the Matuk Midamash and how he can bring this out to us. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kolel. Oh, yeah, today is the third day of the week of Parshas Kedoshim. Today is the day of